Ahoy everybody! Welcome to Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic. So, you've eaten the sugar colon, you've looked at the dirty wall, and you've been on the bridge. But there must be something more to Prague than this. Well, today's mission is to try and find that alternative side to Prague. Let's do this. Prague is one of those fairy tale cities. Its buildings are pretty, its food is hearty, and its history is interesting. However, I think there are 4 far more interesting things to do rather than climbing up a tower and looking at a bridge. And they are guns, Vietnamese food, cemeteries, and observatories. Let's start with guns.
Most people don't know this, but when the communist regime collapsed in 1989, guns were made a constitutional right in the Czech Republic. This means that this small country has one of the highest rates of private gun ownership in Europe.
Rounds. Yep. Just be careful about the flash, and yeah, you can go really fast if you want.
Okay.
Máme přehled a radíme všem, líp než sali, kterým sněm. Láska patří k vědám, bez kterých jít se nedá, oh ne.
Okay, so we are.
That was awesome, thank you.
Here.
I am a 5-year-old at heart, with a 33-year-old's pay.
Oh, this one I don't know if you know the gun.
Yeah.
So it works like this. Then you like look.
Yeah.
First position.
It's so cool.
Of course, better when you have like more ammunition.
Yeah, of course.
So I hope it's gonna work.
Okay. Is it like a spring load or something?
Yeah. Actually, I think the best way is to hold by the magazine.
Okay.
Maybe you can be here after it's gonna be like hot. So I think the best way is here.
Okay.
Yeah? And then you just shoot. Sometimes it's semi-auto, but because it's original.
Yeah.
So it was fully auto. Sometimes it goes like fully, like
right.
When it's happened, so just hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Russian weapon, so sometimes doesn't work.
Okay.
For example, now. Okay, let's continue.
Cool. Thank you.
See, so sometimes
Yeah.
happened.
At the start, it was going automatic,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it's because it's old
It's
weapon.
old.
So
That's so cool.
but it
All right,
was
thank
fixed.
you. Cheers. That was the best one by far.
Left one here. Now, in the shoulder. Don't be super close, so keep a space from the scope. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, finger out.
Fuck. Fuck. Yeah. It's gonna dislocate my shoulder.
Good.
Okay, all good. Thank you. My shoulder is fucked. Well, my face is still covered in gunpowder remnants, and my adrenaline is still spiked as well, I think. That was a fantastic experience. If you're interested in doing the same thing, the website is going to be posted somewhere below in the comments section. It was with shootingrangeprague.com. It's very aptly named. Good website. Fantastic experience. Really well informed instructors, and just really simple, really nice people. I love the Czech attitude towards safety. It was just like, okay, put your hand here and look down the range, and that was about it for all the gun safety that you need. So I enjoy that sort of Czech bluntness. Anyway, now we head south towards one of the suburbs of Prague, where there is a large Vietnamese community there. Obviously, during Soviet times, Vietnamese people, and in fact everybody from around the Soviet nations or friendly Soviet nations, were encouraged to come and train and learn and live and experience the different world in different places that were communist inclined. So there's a huge Vietnamese population here, and I've heard about this great cluster of Vietnamese people. So I'm going to go and explore, but it requires a lot of public transportation. So let's go and try and work our way around the public transport system of Prague. Let's do it.
Take them to Mars. Take them to Mars. Take them to Mars. 2005, horses haven't needed to know. 2006, everybody says they can go.
Well, this place is a lot different than it is from a fairy tale old centre of Prague. We're on the outskirts now. We're probably in like the deepest south part of Prague, I think, before you start to leave the city limits. And we're on the hunt for Sapa, and I can see over there, I don't know if you can see it, a sign for Sapa Stay. Now, Sapa is an area in northern Vietnam. For those of you that don't know anything about me, I actually lived in Vietnam for 3 years. I'm actually quite cool. I'm finding this area socially quite interesting. Look at the old apartment blocks. Clearly these were built in the 1960s under Czechoslovakia, when it was a communist nation. And if you go to the Communist Museum when you're in Prague and you want to get some propaganda forced down your throat, and that every sign basically says communism was really bad, it's like, yeah, it did have its downsides, I'll grant you that, but also didn't it have its good sides as well? Social housing, jobs for life. You know, I know it lifted people out of poverty, but I know also it was a horribly oppressive regime. But that's nothing to do with communism as such. And in fact, I really like Czech Republic. I think I was kind of thrown by how many tourists there are in the city centre yesterday, experiencing a different side of it. It's really clean, it's really nice. People are quite blunt but friendly in a way, and the public transport is amazing. I actually didn't want to come down to Sapa, which you can see a blue sign over there. We're going to head in that direction in a minute. But I didn't want to come down here because I was put off by public transport, and there's no English obviously. But it was really efficient to use. So yeah, if you ever want to get outside the old centre, don't worry about it too much. It's quite easy. Anyway, let's go to Sapa and get some ngon Vietnamese food.
Lives a man who is father of the Indo-Chinese people, and his name it is Ho Chi Minh. Ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh, ho, ho, Ho Chi Minh. From Viet back to the Saigon Delta.
But it's the most delicious thing you've ever heard or seen of a banh mi. And it tastes exactly like they do back in Vietnam. It's fantastic. It's got to be a solid 10 out of 10. So, it turns out this area used to be a chicken factory back in the year 2000. But then it was sort of closed down and turned into this Vietnamese spaceport. It's pretty crazy that you can get all your... If you want to set up a nail supply shop, here is the place to come. Apparently the Vietnamese are the third largest migrant group that live inside Czechoslovakia. So this is why they can benefit from this fantastic cuisine. Anyway, we've done the banh mi, and before my stomach can get too full, we're going to go and get some of my second favourite Vietnamese food, which is banh quan. But I know a good restaurant to go to, so let's go. Here's the place. If anybody's in, I'm going to be surprised. I don't think it's open. Let's go and find another place. I mean, it's not exactly lunchtime now either. It's like 3:30 or something. But I had such a big hotel breakfast that I skip lunch now and just eat dinner. But I'm feeling my stomach's starting to get full from the banh mi, so I've got to better find the banh one quickly before I can't eat anymore. I really do want banh one. It's this fantastic rice pancake with mushrooms and meat in the middle of it. It's super tasty. We've got to find it. Is this it in here? I don't do banh one in here. I want banh one. I'm getting my banh one. Let's try this place. It's so tasty. But it looks like the strangest thing in the world, but honestly, it's so good. Of course, the best thing about eating at this time too is that nobody else is here. You won't meet any other video makers hunting down Vietnamese food in an ex-chicken factory. So count yourself lucky you found me. There is one more thing that I have to tick up my Vietnamese trip down memory lane list, and that is an egg coffee. Bun bun nam mo. All fantastic food. All basically the same, but just super tasty. Actually, take that back. It's not all basically the same. It's very different. It's all very, very good. Oh, a toilet. Or as the Vietnamese would say, nha vệ sinh. See, I do know some stuff. Anyway, on to coffee. That's how they drink it in Belgium. That's super tasty. Time to get back into the centre of Prague, but we're going to stop at one more place that I think might be quite a cool thing to do if you're looking for like an other alternative thing to do in Prague. Anyway, here's my third alternative thing to do that I recommend when coming to Prague, and that's coming to the Olšany Cemetery. It's where a lot of famous Czech and Czechoslovakian people were buried, including the first Prime Minister of Czechoslovakia as well, after it was liberated from the Nazis. But I'm going to explore around and have a look at the architecture. You see? Got a name here written in Russia, 1901 to 1945. So these would have been people that died during the Soviet liberation of what was then Nazi-occupied Czechoslovakia. You can see it's even the gun that I shot earlier there represented, and the red star as well. I don't know if these people were from Czechoslovakia or were from Russia, but they all died. Look, 7/4, 1945, 9/5, 1945. This is all just mere months before the end of World War II. Obviously the red star and any symbol of the Soviet Union now is now sort of demonized, I think, because of, obviously what communist life was like in Czechoslovakia and how oppressive it was during the Warsaw invasion and things like that. But it's still cool to see that they've maintained such a beautiful cemetery. I'm no Czech language speaker, but Odi Fascismu, 1941 to 1945. Obviously honouring the soldiers that fought and died fighting fascism. Well, that's a first. I've been kicked out of a cemetery. I think it's actually closed now because it is... what are we on? It's 6:15, so they've closed the cemetery down. So if you do want to come to the cemetery, make sure you go at that time. Time for me to venture back into the city centre amongst the tourists. Signing off. Alright, it's tomorrow, and there's actually one more alternative thing that I think you can do in Prague, and it involves at nightlife. There's only so many beers you can drink as a solo traveller on an evening, So there's actually other things that you can do at night, and this is one of the most special ones because it involves, I don't know if you can see that half crescent moon there, but it involves the moon. So let's go and venture to the other side of the river and go to an observatory and go and check it out. You can tell I'm a bit out of the beaten path here, mainly because there's an absence of pirate sweet shops and sugar colons and, you know, all the other horrible trappings of the tourist industry that's in the centre of Prague. But we're making our way there. I'm following organic maps. Apparently it's going to point me in the right direction. It's never let me down so far. Let's see if we can break our way into the park that apparently is on the other side of these buildings. But wish me luck. This is actually near the I can't remember the name of the building, but it's the Eiffel Tower looking thing that's next to the monastery that's up on the hill as well. But the observatory is somewhere in the park. Luckily this part is relatively well lit so far. Let's see if we can find it. I say, organic maps has never let me down. Okay, left up here, up the dark path. It better be open, this observatory. Blivisti, Rosalindan, Lanova. No observatory. I have faith. I have faith in my fantastic research from Google and some barely put together blog posts that I read. I can do it. I see some dome-like buildings. This could be it. I really hope it's not just me going to this place. The lights are on. But is anybody home? Let's go and find out. Hello? Hello, can I come and see the observatory?
Hello. Sure, where are you? The gate is open. You must be at the wrong one.
The gate is up. I'm at the door. Is it not open? Mission successful. I made it in. Let's go and find the observatory.
Že zrovna období, kdy mají narozeniny, což jsou narozeniny znamení jaka, tak to znamená, že sluníčko.
Well, of course, my piddly little My First Fisher-Price camera can't capture much low-level light things, but that was, I don't know, can you see the roof open there? That was so cool as an experience to be with that piece of technology and to be able to see those sort of things. Best thing that I learned, that when you normally look at a star in the sky, it's not just the one star, it's actually two stars. But anyway, I was the only person there, English person there, and there was maybe 5 other Czech people there. But I can't believe that it's not more of a thing. I hope it doesn't become more of a thing because it was already awkward with 5 people in there. I tried my best to get some footage, but of course it's very awkward to whip out a camera and start putting the torch on your phone and shining it at people and then trying to get reactions. It's a very undiplomatic and uncivilized process, so I refuse to do it. Concludes my alternative guide to Prague. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to follow me along for the next video that I make, please press subscribe as well. That's what I've become now. I've become that person. Anyway, off into the night of Prague I go. See you later.